There are moments in life that don't look important on the surface, but underneath something powerful is unfolding. You're sitting across from her. Maybe it's at a coffee shop, maybe it's after work, maybe it's a casual message late at night, and she says something. Simple, innocent, just a few words, and yet something about the way she says it, the way her tone dips, the way she avoids eye contact for just a second too long, it stirs something inside you. You leave the conversation, and hours later, her words are still echoing in your mind. She said, "I feel like I can talk to you about anything." She said, "You always make me feel better." She said, "You get me." To anyone else, those words wouldn't mean much, but to a man who knows how to listen, not just with his ears, but with his instincts, those phrases mean everything. You see, most men live in the surface-level world. They hear what's being said, but they miss what's being meant. They analyze her behavior, but they overlook her signals. They chase her body, but ignore the language of her soul. And because of that, they miss the very thing they're searching for. Real attraction, the kind that isn't just physical, but emotional and psychological, isn't shouted, it's whispered. It shows up not in big declarations, but in small moments. Phrases slipped between casual sentences, disguised as nothing but loaded with meaning. This is how a woman protects herself. While still reaching out, she doesn't say, "I want you." She says, "I feel safe when I'm around you." She doesn't say, "I can't stop thinking about you." She says, "You just popped into my head." She doesn't say, "I'm falling for you." She says, "You're not like most guys." If you don't know how to read these phrases, you'll miss the invitation. You'll miss the doorway she's cracked open. And if you ignore it long enough, she'll quietly close it again, and you'll never know what could have been. But when you do learn to read between the lines, when you understand the emotional code that women speak in, everything changes. You'll see her feelings before she fully admits them. You'll sense her desire before she gives it a name. And in a world where most men are lost in overthinking and second-guessing, you'll stand still, confident, calm, and clear, because you'll know the truth. And that truth will give you power. In this video, I'm going to reveal to you the 5 specific phrases women say when they're secretly attracted to you. These phrases are not random. They are emotional. Breadcrumbs that women drop when they feel a pull toward a man, but are still trying to protect their vulnerability. Some of these phrases might sound ordinary to an untrained ear, but after this video, you won't hear them the same way again. If you've ever found yourself wondering, is she into me or just being nice? Did she mean something more by that? Why does she keep talking to me like that? Even though she says we're just friends, then this is the video you've been needing, because when you understand the subtle emotional intelligence behind attraction, you don't chase, you don't beg, you attract naturally, quietly, powerfully. Welcome to Stoic Paradox, where we reveal the truths. Most people are too afraid to say the truths that make you sharper, stronger, and more aware than 99% of men out there now. Let's decode her desire. Starting with the first phrase she'll only say when she's truly drawn to you. Let's begin praise. Number 1, you just get me at first glance. This phrase sounds simple, harmless, casual. You just get me, but don't be fooled. This is not just a compliment. It's a revelation, a leak from the inner world of a woman's guarded emotions. When a woman says this, what she's really expressing, whether she consciously realizes it or not, is that you've penetrated beyond her mask. You've stepped past the surface version of her that she shows to the world, and you've touched something deeper. Why does this matter? Because women especially, intelligent, emotionally layered, women live in a constant state of emotional management. They're used to filtering themselves. They're used to not being fully seen. Most men don't understand them. Most men try to fix their problems instead of listening. Most men listen with judgment, or worse, with an agenda. But when you, as a man, can hold space without trying to control her, when you can read between her words, when you notice what she's not saying, when you respond in a way that says, I see who you are and I'm not afraid of it. You immediately separate yourself from the crowd, and that's when she says it. You just get me. She may say it after you finish her sentence. She may say it after you validate something. She thought no one noticed. She may say it after a long pause, when she's been emotional and you didn't interrupt or rush her. But however she says it when she does, you must understand what's happening underneath. It means you've hit a nerve in a good way. It means she feels safe with you. It means you've become a mirror, not of who the world expects her to be, but of who she actually is underneath it all. And here's what most men don't realize. Emotional connection is the gateway to physical desire. Not the other way around when a woman feels emotionally naked around you. She starts to trust you with her mind. And when she trusts you with her mind, her body soon follows, not out of lust, but out of surrender. This phrase, "you just get me," is her subconscious whispering. I feel known, I feel seen, and I want more of this. But here's the catch. You can't force her to say it. This isn't a line you earn by pretending to be deep or sensitive. This isn't something you get by memorizing tricks or rehearsed lines. You earn it through presence, through depth, through quiet confidence, through the way you make her feel when you're simply being you. No performance, no pressure, no need to impress. Women are not attracted to noise, they're drawn to resonance. So when she says, "You just get me," don't just smile and move on. Pause, look her in the eyes, let the silence hold. Because in that moment, you've just opened a door most men never even find. And if you walk through it with grace and awareness, you won't just be the guy she's attracted to. You'll become the man she trusts, the man she opens up to, the man she chooses, not because she needs to, but because she wants to praise. 2. I don't usually say this, but this phrase is the verbal equivalent of her soul, cracking open just a little. It's hesitation cloaked in vulnerability. When a woman says, "I don't usually say this," but what she's really doing is crossing a boundary she normally protects. This boundary isn't physical, it's emotional, psychological, sometimes even spiritual. What she's about to say may not be earth-shattering. Maybe it's just a compliment. Maybe it's a childhood memory. Maybe it's a thought she had about you that surprised even her. But the content isn't what matters here. It's the context she's telling you. This is not something I share with just anyone. This part of me is private. You've made me feel something rare. And I don't know why I'm telling you this. But I am. This phrase is like the first time she lets you walk through the hallways of her unfiltered mind. She might not even realize what she's doing. She may laugh it off. She may quickly change the subject after saying it. But if you're a man of awareness, a stoic man who sees without grasping, then you'll know what just happened. She let you see behind the curtain, and it's critical that you don't fumble that moment, don't interrupt, don't make a joke to lighten the mood. Hold the weight of her words with quiet strength. Be the man who can sit in the heat of her revelation without flinching. Because here's the deeper truth. A woman's attraction isn't always sexual first, it's psychological. She wants to feel things with you that she can't feel alone. And when she says, "I don't usually say this," what she's really saying is, "I feel something with you, I don't feel with other men, and I'm scared, but I want to go further." That phrase is a door. If you open it too fast, you'll scare her. But if you show her you value what's behind it, she won't close it again. And that's when true emotional intimacy begins. Phrase, "You're so easy to talk to." Now this phrase might sound like it belongs in the friend zone, but make no mistake, this is a Trojan horse because attraction isn't always fiery or loud. Sometimes it shows up in peace, in safety, in ease, and when a woman tells you, "You're so easy to talk to," she's not describing your words, she's describing your energy. You don't interrupt, you don't dominate, you don't make her feel like she has to entertain you. You just listen with presence, with curiosity, with calm. You're not reactive. You don't try to fix her. You don't offer shallow affirmations or pretend to understand things you don't. You're simply there, and in that space, she feels what most women rarely feel around men. Freedom, freedom to ramble, freedom to cry, freedom to not make sense. And ironically, it's this freedom that creates deep emotional attraction, because when a woman feels like she can exhale around you, like she can just be, that's when she begins to fall. Not just for how you make her feel, but for who she becomes around you. The truth is, most men want to be heard. Few know how to hear, most want to be seen. Few know how to see. So when she says, "You're so easy to talk to," she's expressing relief. And in that relief, there's the seed of deep desire. Because she's not attracted to the way you speak. She's attracted to how she feels when she speaks to you. Praise number 4, you'd make a great dad leader partner. This phrase is never random. It's a subconscious projection, a glimpse into how she imagines you in a role of responsibility and emotional maturity. When a woman says, "You'd make a great dad," or "You'd be an amazing partner," what she's doing is placing you inside her future. She's not saying it about your abs or your jokes or your looks. She's recognizing something deeply masculine in you, something stable, something grounded, something that whispers, "This man wouldn't crumble under pressure. This man wouldn't abandon me emotionally. This man wouldn't flee when life gets messy." And let's be clear, a woman doesn't imagine you fathering her children unless she feels a primal sense of trust. It's her way of saying, you're not just attractive, you're safe to build with. Whether she says this jokingly or seriously, pay attention, because it means you've crossed from flirtation into long-term viability. It means she doesn't just want you, she respects you, and that is where real attraction lives. Any guy can turn her on, few men can make her feel safe to turn her whole life toward him. If she says this phrase, she's already thought about what her world might feel like with you in it, even if she denies it later, even if she laughs it off. Remember, women test the future in their language before they ever act on it. Phrase number 5, you get me. We touched on this earlier, but now let's go deeper. When a woman says, "You get me," you've reached a level of connection that defies logic. This isn't just a phrase, it's a confession. It means you've entered the space of her unspoken needs, her silent frustrations, her emotional scars. You get me doesn't mean you've read her mind. It means you've understood the emotion beneath the words. Maybe she was venting and you didn't give advice. You just nodded, held space, and she felt seen. Maybe you picked up on a pattern in her behavior that even she hadn't noticed. Maybe you told her something about herself that she always suspected, but never said out loud. And when you do that, when you reflect her inner self back to her without judgment, her walls collapse. You get me? Means I don't have to wear armor around you. I don't have to decode my own emotions for you to understand. I can just exist, and somehow you still know exactly where I'm at. That is intimacy, that is rare, and that's exactly why it's powerful. Because women are not just looking for excitement, they're looking for resonance. And if you can be the man who makes her feel not just attracted, but understood, then she'll never forget you. Because in a world full of men who try to impress her, you'll be the one who made her feel seen. And now, brother, here's the part no one wants to admit. Most men hear these phrases, but they don't listen. They get lost in the casual delivery, the smiles, the friendly tone, and they miss the depth, the meaning, the subtle emotional code that women speak in when they don't yet feel safe enough to be direct. But you, the man who chooses awareness over impulse, presence over performance, silence over the need to impress you, have an advantage, because once you begin to recognize these hidden phrases for what they are, not just words, but invitations into her inner world, everything changes. Suddenly, you're not just another guy. She knows you're the man. She remembers the man she opens up to late at night when her mind wanders, the man who doesn't chase, because he understands something deeper, that when you create emotional resonance, the chase becomes unnecessary, because she starts chasing the feeling she gets around you. Now here's what I want you to do. Here's what: start paying attention, not to the obvious signs, not to the compliments, the smiles, or the laughter, but to the in-between moments. The pauses in her speech, the way her tone shifts when she's unsure, the casual phrases that sound like nothing but feel like something. Watch for the way she says, "I don't usually say this. You're so easy to talk to. You'd be a great dad. You get me." Because if she says even one of those, and it's sincere, you've touched something most men never do. You've bypassed attraction and tapped into emotional intimacy, the very thing that turns a woman's curiosity into desire. And if this message resonated with you, if you feel like you've heard one of these phrases and didn't realize what it meant, don't ignore it. Like this video, subscribe to Stoic Paradox and comment below. Have you ever heard a woman say one of these to you? What did you do in that moment? Because remember, being stoic doesn't mean being cold. It means being calm enough to feel everything and still remain in control. You're not here to chase validation. You're here to attract alignment, and the right woman will never be confused by your silence. She'll be intrigued by it. Until next time, stay grounded, stay aware, and as always, choose stillness over noise. This is the Urban Stoic.